This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Thursday, August 20th, and this is the Barbados Today Afternoon Update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Barbados and its Caribbean neighbors continue to track the movement of Danny, which strengthened into a hurricane earlier today. At 11 a.m., the system was about 1,090 miles east of the Windward Islands, near latitude 12.5 north, longitude 44.8 west, moving towards the west-northwest near 12 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 70 miles per hour with higher gusts, and forecasters predict that some additional strengthening will occur during the next 48 hours. NOAA's Hurricane Hunter aircraft will be stationed in Barbados from today to conduct several missions to gather data on the storm. Residents are being advised by the Department of Emergency Management to remain on alert as the system approaches. In other news, civil society continues to express concerns about rising crime in the country. The latest group, the private sector, which is worried that businesses may become targets for criminals. Private Sector Association Chairman Alex McDonald tells Barbados Today he is particularly worried about small business owners such as vendors and 24-hour stores. McDonald made the comments just hours before news came from the Royal Barbados Police Force that another victim of gun violence, Ashim Telemac, had died at hospital some 2 weeks after he was injured.
The people in business share one defining trait from other persons in that they are the people who generate revenues, and as a result they have become a natural target for people who are looking for money. Now, unless, of course, we have evidence that this spate of crime is not related to the acquisition of money, just on an opportunistic basis, but it is members of gangs who are settling scores and so on. Even that does not allay your fears, because what we've seen now is this pernicious shooting up and attacking of people within groups that are not related to the quarrel. So we do have a high level of concern.
McDonald also complained that the situation is forcing some businesses to shut their doors much earlier, resulting in a drop in revenue-making opportunities.
We are concerned because our families are out there. Our businesses are open later. People are shutting their businesses earlier. That means less service towards customers. It means less revenue-making opportunities. It means also that if you do have visitors and tourists to the island, that they have less opportunity to spend money over the length of the day if people are closing early and so on. So we do have a concern. We support whatever initiative the police will be taking. We support an engagement with them to find out how we can play our part. And we support the Royal Barbados Police Force and all those other agencies who are dealing with this and looking at this.
Two of the country's major trade unions to hold talks on plans by Arawak Cement Company Limited to lay off dozens of workers. Yesterday, officials at the St. Lucie-based company said that they have been forced to send home 40 employees beginning October 23rd in order to save the plant from going under. Acting General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Rosalind Smith, tells Barbados Today her union and the Barbados Workers Union will hold a joint meeting with the management of the plant on the matter next week.
To confirm that we have received correspondence from the Arawak Cement Plant regarding the downsizing of the plant, and we haven't. They wrote requested that we have joint meeting between NUPW and BWU sometime next week, and we will be meeting with our workers prior to this meeting so that we can see what are the advantages and the disadvantages.
The National Housing Corporation told to give greater consideration for accommodation of disabled Barbadians when designing its houses. The strong advice came from Barbados Blind Association member Errol Hurley during the final of the Habitat 3 Town Hall meetings last night. Hurley, a resident in a National Housing Corporation building, spoke of some of the shortcomings of the structure.
We go to National Housing for houses. We want to have a proper facility to live in, and don't just push us as somewhere that we say, oh, they have a disability, put them in order, so let it go along. No. We need to have a proper housing project in Barbados for persons with disability. They build a 2-story building over on the other side for persons with wheelchairs and things like that. That's small too. I mean, how can you build an apartment for somebody with a wheelchair, and when the man spin around the wheelchair, he bump on the wall? You know, it really hurt me. It really hurt me that people that got big brain can sit down and approve these sort of things, and people like me that got a small brain or a chicken brain can realize what is going on. You think you better employ me? I want to say to National Housing, get your act together.
The Kerrville School of Business says more people are undertaking studies at the institution. The gradual growth report follows a fall in enrollments over the last year after government introduced tuition fees for Barbadians attending the University of the West Indies, while Chief Executive Officer and Director of the CHSB, Dr. Janine Comer, could not say how much of a steep drop the school recorded. She says her department is seeing an increase in numbers.
The fact that their numbers our numbers generally as a university have come down, we have seen a reduction in our numbers. We're beginning to see a slight trend upwards, and this has happened over the last year. And it's not a quantum leap, but it's just a gradual climb, and we're hoping that we will see more of that. We're seeing a lot more interest in companies doing in-company activities as opposed to perhaps sending persons on an academic program. They are engaging us to do various things for managers in their companies, and we are appreciative of that. That's not only in Barbados, but it's throughout the Eastern Caribbean where we tend to operate. So there's a slight shift.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my bank.
On the regional scene, a flight is diverted in the Bahamas as one air traffic controller allegedly takes matters into his own hands over the non-payment of overtime by the government. More in this ZNS report.
The government's understanding of the law, which is our advice, that they're entitled to give time off in lieu of pay, which General Orders says specifically in its language, if that does not apply in the case of this essential service, and if we should be doing something different, then if we know that, we will do so.
President of the Air Traffic Controllers Union, LaShawn Gray, said rerouting an aircraft was nothing new.
What I can say is that although the aircraft was en route, the controller was advised that the aircraft would be in there before 10 o'clock. The government of the Bahamas has decided that they would not compensate controllers for overtime, despite them having worked overtime all this time for years. The individuals have no problem with not being paid overtime. It's just that they're not willing to work the overtime. If you're not going to be paid for it, then really the best thing is not to work it. What would be important is that the officer that was responsible put in place the necessary things that would ensure that there would be a smooth and safe transition into the alternate airport of that aircraft.
And further afield, 2 men identified as suspects in the Bangkok bombing surrendered to police, insisting they are just tour guides. The men were seen in CCTV footage before Monday's blast at the shrine, which killed 20 people. They were wearing red and white t-shirts on the bench, which was later occupied by the main suspect, who was wearing a yellow shirt and left behind his backpack shortly after. And that's news. For more, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 online TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn, and do have a safe and wonderful afternoon.